Hello beautiful souls, welcome to my channel Light Minded. Today we're going to be talking about tips on how to connect with your higher self or how to connect with your spiritual team, aka your spiritual guides. So to me, this is a pretty easy process. This is something that you need to continuously work on and practice at, but as you practice and you grow to connect with your guides or your higher self, you will find that it will become easier and easier. All right, so tip number one, the first thing I suggest is ask. Ask your higher self, ask your guides, either for guidance with a specific question. If you want to connect with your higher self on a more one-to-one level, you could ask them questions like their names, their gender. For some of them, they will give you that information. You can also ask them to provide you with signs. So you could say for a blue butterfly, that's a yes. For a yellow butterfly, that's a no. So that way you can get clear on different symbols from your higher self, from your spirit guides. That way you'll be able to know and understand the communication as communication flows between you guys. So in regards to asking your spirit guides for this connection or your higher self, your higher self is always present with you. When you're in this moment and you're in the now, a lot of the times, if you're not looking too far back in the past or too far in the future, if you're living in the now, if you're being present and aware, you get messages from your higher self all the time. Some people are aware of this and some people aren't. Some people just think, they get certain creative ideas or certain ideas and they think that it's their own. However, it's coming from your higher self or your spiritual team or your ancestors. So another helpful tip that goes with step number one is journaling. Journaling is really going to help you keep up with your communication with your guides. Really document all of the communication between you two. So in the beginning, writing these things down will really set your intentions, and I feel like send out a stronger signal to your guides, to your higher self, that your intentions are to really connect with them and receive their guidance. All right, step number two, it is all about clearing your space, right? So that literally clean your space. That could be vacuuming, mopping, organizing your space. Whenever you're in a space that is clear, that is clean, you feel good, right? The energy is just able to flow. So first, clean your space, clean your area up before you try to connect with your guides. Another thing that's beneficial is you could get some sage, either have a smudge stick or some sage incense, and you can actually burn it to actually cleanse your area of anything that's no longer serving you. If you want, you can say a prayer, or you can just speak some words like, I'm clearing my space of any energy that no longer serves me, bringing in positive energy so the energy can flow better. And you can kind of switch it up to however it fits for you. Now, if you don't have any sage, you don't have to go out and buy anything. I do another exercise. It's called like a white light bath. So I will get in a state of like a meditative state. And then when I'm meditating at that point, I will use your imagination, your third eye, and you will imagine white light coming down, cloaking over you, right? Almost like a net, like a white net. Imagine that and set the intention that that energy is clearing your space. It will clean your space just as well as the sage, just in case, so you don't have to go out and purchase anything. So you do have different options in clearing your space and cleaning your space. So the third tip is channeling through visualization, which requires you to use your imagination. Yes, so back to elementary school, I'm asking you guys to put on your imagination cap. So whenever I channel with my guides, I will often meditate. I will close my eyes, get in a very calm state, really be mindful of my breath. As soon as I feel my breath come to a place of consistency, I know that I'm at this place where my vibration is like right here, and then her vibration is here, and then we're able to meet. That's kind of how I see it in my head, right? So I'll share one of my visualizations with you guys. Now, what you visualize can be completely different from what I visualize, but this helps me connect with my higher self, right? So as you go through your day-to-day, you're busy, your mind's over here, your thoughts are all over the place. So I like to get in the state, meditate. And then as I meditate, I envision myself going further and further away from earth. So I'll see where I'm meditating at, where I'm sitting. I'll see the room, I'll see the house. I'll go further out, kind of like I'm in an airplane. And then as I get further out, I'm in space. So by this point, I can see Earth. And in space, there's this little house. I don't know why there's a little house there, but it's there for me whenever I need to go there. So I go to the house. It has a porch. So at this point, there's two of me. So I set me outside and I'm like, hey, you sit outside. And what this represents is my day-to-day, my phone ringing, emails from work, just thoughts, who has baseball practice, who has this, who has that, all of those who, what, when, where, why. I put that person and I'm like, you sit on the porch. And then I see myself go inside the house. And to me, that represents kind of leaving the day-to-day on the porch. And for me, visualizing things is very important. That's how I'm able to get a lot of messages from spirit. So I know at first it may sound a little silly, but it's really helpful in the process. So at the point when I'm in the house is quiet. I don't hear anything. I'm not thinking about bills. I'm not thinking about anything. It is quiet. The only thing that I'm present of is my breath. And I find in that state, I'm able to connect with my higher self more easily. And now at this moment, she'll either send me messages and I'll write them down in my journal, or I will see images of what she's trying to show me and I'll take note of that. And sometimes I'll have to go back and do more research to kind of indicate what certain animals mean or what certain messages mean. Now, once I receive those messages, I usually sit with those for a while because a lot of times the messages aren't always time specific. So if I'm going through certain things in my life and I keep seeing, I'm channeling with my guide and she shows me an owl. And then say a couple weeks later, I literally keep seeing an owl on TV. I see an owl outside. I'm mindful. I'm like, what's going on in this moment? So the messages that you get from your higher self, really important to be able to connect the dots with your intuition. So I hope that makes sense. So the symbols and what they show you is going to be very important. So journaling those things, notating those things is going to be very beneficial to you as you go along your journey. Tip number 4 is to be open, be curious. Maybe not have an idea of what to expect. Maybe your guide to you looks like a fairy and maybe mine looks like, I don't know, something from another planet. Be open to your guide and what you see. Now, I don't think it's going to be anything scary or terrifying, but be open because I feel like certain doors are going to open, certain opportunities are going to be opening for you as you connect with your guides and you ask for that guidance, because we have so much knowledge inside of us, so much information, past lives that we've experienced. Some of that can be unlocked, and then that will allow us to move forward in our journey. So when I say be open, be curious, it's in a positive way. It's in an exciting way. Don't block it, don't box it in, just be open to what your higher self can present to you and your spiritual team, because they're here to help you along your journey. If you don't want any help from them, they're not going to come in and make you do anything. It's totally up to you if you want to accept their guidance. Okay, so tip number 5 is dreams. So with dreams, you can really utilize your dreams to get symbols and messages from your spirit guide. It's really good to have a journal or a dream journal next to your bed. That way you can jot down any messages, anything that you see from your dream that stands out. That's going to be a really good way to connect with your guides and your higher self. So maybe you might notice that when you're journaling, you may ask your spirit guide certain questions and you will receive those answers through your dreams as well. So if you don't receive them in your physical, like while you're up, you may receive the messages through your dreams. It's just easier for spirit to connect with you when you're in a dream state sometimes, because during the day we're busy, our emotions are all over the place, and we may just not be in an energy that is of a certain vibration, so they're able to connect with us and we're able to notice the message. Last but not least is tip number 6, is really, trust in the messages that you receive. As being a medium, I receive so many messages from, people's passed on loved ones, from clients that I work with. And sometimes, spirits will say, so just like the cherry tree with the yellow flower underneath it. Like, to me, that means nothing. I don't know what that means. But to my client, that means the world because it resonates with them. So whenever spirit brings you the messages, really trust in the messages that you're receiving. Just know that, spirit is not going to stir you on the wrong path. They shouldn't be telling you anything that's scary or harmful. Any messages should be brought with love, and really to assist you, really to guide you. It should really feel like messages that provide you with comfort. Now, let me tell you, sometimes some of the messages you're just like, what? Like, what does that mean? You may see different animals. You may, have certain smells that you smell, or certain colors, or certain symbols that mean other things, kind of like a metaphor. Sometimes it's not just clear, like take a right, take a left. And sometimes it can get a little, I don't want to say frustrating, but you just have to figure out what is trying to be communicated to you. So, it's almost kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. That's what I like to tell my clients. So that's why it's really important to journal, because you can almost get like, how like in high school or in elementary school, we'd make a map and it has like the legend and the key and everything like that. That's exactly how it works. As I work with my guides, as I work with my higher self, certain symbols, certain things mean certain things to me. Like, for example, whenever I see a scenery and it's lush and it's green, to me that's like a very fruitful energy. It's a very abundant energy. It could mean that this person is about to have a baby or bring someone into their life, like new love or something like that. So by taking note of the symbols that you receive, you can almost essentially create your own map key, and it'll be something specific and personal between you and your higher self or your spiritual guides. So I hope that these messages and these tips help. If you like more videos or more content like this, please let me know. Also, I'm interested, comment below. Let me know, how do you connect with your higher self? Like, have you tried? Have you started? What symbols have you seen? What messages have you received? There's no wrong or right way to do this. As long as we're in a place where we're open to receiving and our vibration is at a certain level, our spirit guides, our higher self will connect with us. And that's the beautiful thing about being part of Source. You will receive these messages, and sometimes they seem like they're your thoughts, but they're from your guides. So yeah, comment below. Let me know, what's your process in this? Are you just starting? Are you new to connecting? Are you an expert? I'm continuously learning, because I don't meditate every day. I should, but I'm getting there, guys. It's a work in progress. And another thing that just popped in my head is, the most important thing is just to be kind with yourself when it comes to this journey of healing, when it comes to this journey of connecting, because they're just there to assist with the process. There's no judgment. They're not judging you if you're not able to connect, if you're not able to meditate longer than 5 minutes. There's no judgment. There's just love and there's just support. So I wish you guys love and abundance. And until next time, guys.